The pagoda on the right is a different pagoda. They look similar. I believe that this first one is the entrance, and then this guy is the main attraction. And when I did this value study for it, I wanted to add a diagonal. I wanted the main area to cross over at the thirds, so it's kind of, yes, it is centered, but because of the diagonal it has movement and motion. But one problem is I drew this guy too big, so it doesn't, the composition doesn't fit quite the same as this one. But I'm just going to roll with it. It's a color study. I don't know when I'll get around to doing a final piece, but this 6x8 little painting is what I'm going to do for right now.
Something I wanted to go over today is creating depth and thinking of, even though we're painting a landscape painting, thinking of our focal point as a portrait, that this is a face, or this is what we really want to focus on. But like in a high school portrait or a professionally photographed portrait headshot, you usually have a crisp focus around the eyes, the nose, mouth, and then a blurred background. You might know what the background is, but it's not a focus. I do have a previous video about this that shows painting of my killer bees, my bandits in the sky, that have a blurred background and a focused background. So that's what I want you to think about. If you look at the finished painting, the pagoda itself is in crisp focus. You see the lanterns, the lily lanterns, and then you see the details of the pagoda. And then the background trees, even though some of the lines are crisp, the contrast isn't very high, so it is somewhat blurred in the background. And then the pond next to the pagoda, you can see some of the lily pads, but there is a lot of fogginess in there too. You want that crisp edge to be in the center. You want your local colors to be in there. You want that to be the area that has vibrance, contrast of value, contrast of temperature, contrast of texture, all of the different elements of contrast you want at play if appropriate. So that's what this video is about. And for it being such a small color study, I did give it a lot of time, but sometimes, and I know you've been there too, you just get into it and you're like, oh, I could do this, I could do this. And, you know, on a color study, one could argue it's better to go overboard on your color study than on your original piece, because I imagine that when I do this, I'll do this on a half sheet. So that's all I wanted to go over with that. Thanks for tuning in today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
All right, so now I'm on to the stage where I'll be defining some of the trees, figuring out where to put in a palm tree here or there. I do have a few of the other trees put in other than palm trees, so just need to add a little definition here and there. That will be positive painting because I don't want that area to go any darker. So I'll do, or I should say, I'm not going to put a darker blue behind it to define the tree. I'm going to make the tree branches, the foliage, a little bit darker, but still very atmospheric. And then for around the, this part of the building where it has a decorative on the top, I'll probably use a little bit of maybe a little bit of white and a blue-gray just to get that part to stand out a little bit. And then in here, down in here, I'll put in some shrubbery, and I gotta cut around these. These are actually lotuses that are hanging down. And I don't know if they glow or not, but I decided to paint them like as if they were lanterns. So there's that. I'll do a little bit of negative painting around these lily pads that I put in down here. But at this point, it's a very delicate touch to get this temple to emerge from the fog. So that is where I'll be now. And so I'm going to mix up some paint and we'll get started.